This is Skip with the Widescreen Gaming Forum, and today we're going to take a look at the Corsair USB 3 Flash Survivor drive. This is a 64 gig drive that I picked up off of Amazon. I have a need here when doing stuff on the WSGF to move large files from my gaming PC over to my Mac for video editing, for apps captures and stuff. And previously when I had a Mac Pro, I did that just over the network. Gigabit Ethernet was perfect for that. But since moving to a Retina MacBook Pro, the Wi-Fi just hasn't been up to the task for that. So my other options that I had used previously was this little P&Y drive, 4 gig USB 2.0, very small, not really conducive to moving 4 gig video files, and at USB 2.0 it was very slow. The other option that I had used was using this Transcend card reader, using a 32 gig card that I use in my digital camera. Plenty of space for most things, but still slow at USB 2.0. So I was looking for a new drive, and I looked on Amazon, and this one had a really good price point. Had a good cost per gigabyte, and I just like the look of the form factor. This has been pretty good over the years, but honestly I lose it a lot around the house. My kids pick it up, they move it, or I lose it just sitting in my bowl of junk, keys and change and stuff that I have here in my office. So I thought, well, this I won't necessarily lose as much. I've left this one in my pants a few times and it's gotten washed and it's come out just fine. This is big enough that that shouldn't happen. Now this is rated to water resistant to 300 feet. You can see there's this little O-ring right here, and it screws in here and makes a seal that should make it water resistant. Now I don't have 200 meters of water to go in, but I do have a washing machine. And for most geeks, this is what we would need water resistance for. So I have a pair of shorts here that I wore yesterday, and I'm going to drop this in here. The drive is probably too big, to wear in like a slimmer fitting pair of slacks or pants, but would work well in some cargo shorts like this. So I'm going to run this through the washer, and we're going to see if the data I've got on it is still there and how it fares. So here we are back with the Corsair Survivor again. It's gone through the wash and rinse cycle. It was actually heavy enough that it came out of the pocket of my shorts, whereas this one, when I've left it in there, stayed nestled down in the corner of the pocket. Haven't opened it yet. It did come a little loose, so I'm not sure what that means for water getting in. You can see a few scuffs here along the edge as it went around the metal washing machine tub. But if we open it up, it still feels like it's got a good seal. There's absolutely no moisture in here. So let's plug it in and see if it works. I did not send it through the dryer because the heat would have evaporated any moisture that would have been here. One downside to this design with how thick it is here is that if you've got a ultra notebook, something like the Retina MacBook Pro that I've got, it won't quite fit in if you've got it on a table here. So I'm just going to take it off the edge here, plug it in. You can see that it powers up, and I'm going to pull up the screen here. You can see that it does have all of the data, about 4 gigs that I copied over beforehand. Everything's here and working great. So I would say that this was a success with the washer test, which is about as rugged or survivalist that I think most of us would need. And here we have the Corsair 64 gig Survivor. I like the design. I like that it's slightly rugged. Again, it's got the rubber bits here, so it stays put fairly well. I can find it on my desk. I can find it in my office. The speed is great. The only downside is that it can be a little bulky if you're trying to put it into an Ultrabook or something thin. And it's got a hole here for a lanyard, but it didn't come with any kind of cord. It would have been nice for that. But all in all, I'm very pleased. It is speedy. It almost hits its maximum rated 85 megabytes per second. I think I got 83. And all around an outstanding piece of kit at a great price. And it comes highly recommended.